All right, guys, what's going on? I wanted to dive into something, another video to kind of show what Madden has wrong. Now, if I were to actually do, a video, like a series, like I started the series on what Madden has wrong, and I'm probably sure that somebody has probably seen that I haven't put a lot of videos on that, and that's because the task would be almost unclimbable. I don't even know if that's a word. There's just no way I would be able to tackle everything that Madden has wrong. And here's the thing too: I'm not speaking in regards to franchise, graphics. Hey, look at how this offensive lineman looks when he does this and that sort of. I don't care about all that. I really don't. And I'm not saying it's wrong for you to care about that. If you care about those things, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I care about the tactical side of the game, right? So, and for those of you who may say, well, it's just a game, so who cares? First of all, if you have that mindset, please leave my channel. Do not watch my channel. My channel is not for you. Like, it is what it is. I don't care. Kind of is what it is. I don't mean to sound dismissive, but, I'm just trying to help you out. Like, there's no point in watching any of my videos if you have that mentality to where you think, well, it's just a game, so who cares? It can be however they want it. Dude, first of all, um, we are spending our hard-earned money for a game that is advertising itself as like an NFL game, right? Like, our love for football is the reason why we buy this game, not our love for this game. There's a big difference. We're not buying Madden because we love Madden, right? I guarantee you most of you buy Madden because you love football. That's why you buy Madden. You're not buying it because Madden's the best game ever. I'm pretty sure there's some of you who said, and I've done this too, where you're like, uh, I'm never gonna buy Madden again. I'm done with it. It's just garbage, right? And then you buy it anyways, right? I'll tell you why you did it, and I know why you did it. Your love for football drags you into that store to buy the game. That's what bought you. It just is what it is. Your love for football is being exploited by this game. Okay? Don't tell me that, you know, we don't have to be as real as possible with the game and simulate football if you're going to use the Green Bay Packers logo, all the players' names that play on the Green Bay Packers, the Bills logo, all the players that play on the Bills are in your game. You have all the head coaches, with the exception, I think, of one, their names, etc. I mean, we are buying the game because we love the game of football and we want to have our fix in playing the game of football. That's why we play Madden. So, in essence, you should be designing a game that simulates what we see on the field because that's what we came to buy. We wanted to buy something that's real and that simulates what we see, right? This game is so far from being real that it's literally like absurd. It's actually like pathetic, you know. And I pay attention to so many different things that I kind of worry about myself sometimes. But you ever, like, when you go to into the loading screen, you're getting ready for the game, right? And they have a screenshot of the 50 superstar players or whatever, one by one, right? And then at the bottom of the left, they'll have a description, like a one sentence, right, of that player, and they have the abilities over here, right? But I read some of those statements, and I can tell it's given by people who don't know football at all, right? Like, some of the statements highlight their mentality on what they think the game is. Like, I think on Russell Wilson, it says he's a magician in the pocket. Now you see him, now you don't. Bro, it sounds like a child wrote that. What the hell does that have to do with strategic football? If you're going to write a statement on Russell Wilson, on what's so great about him, that's what you came up with? Now you see him, now you don't? It's the dumbest thing I ever heard, man. It's like, like, imagine a scout going to the GM. Hey, GM asks, hey man, what did you feel about that guy I told you about? Did you check him out? He's a magician in the pocket. Now you see him, now you don't. What? What are you talking about? Or how about with Patrick Mahomes, right? Where he's like, I think it says, what does it say? It says something like he can make any throw, looking or not. Bro, oh my goodness, bro. So you're talking about that throw where he wasn't looking and he threw cross body. So he's probably thrown maybe, who knows, 9,000 throws, and he did that one time, and that's the highlight sentence you can say about Patrick Mahomes. Like imagine a GM asking his scout, who he told to go research that guy. Hey, so what'd you see in Patrick Mahomes, man? Man, he can throw crossbody, and yeah, looking or not, what are you talking about? You know, to me it just shows the mentality. It's like a child who does. Let me just get out of it, man. Like it just shows like dude, can you like design real like football, please? Because if your mentality is that's what's great about these players, that tells me what you do when you try to design the actual game, man to man coverage, two man, inside outside leverage, that sort of thing. That tells me how many like you're probably getting so many things wrong. And here's the thing, they don't want to be transparent either, because if you were transparent, you would show us and tell us how you have it coded, how you have quarters covered, coded when they go to trips or stack sets and etc. You would tell us, hey, this guy is going to cover him on an inside, outside, that sort of thing. Like they really don't tell us anything, and I think it's because they don't want people who understand how it should be to criticize them when they have things wrong. And they don't want you to do that because they probably know that they have so much wrong. So it's almost like, yeah, just go play the game and see how it's coded, guys. Like with cover four quarters, when you go to trips, I think it does spot drop coverage. They don't even play man match anymore. Like it'll just disappear from the game, and they won't tell you. They're the worst. So let me just get right into it, man. I'm already ranting, dude. It's so hard to talk about this game without getting pissed. It's like when I throw like intercept. Yeah, let me get into it and let me just let it go. So I want to talk about pass protection. One thing that they don't have is, first of all, they don't have sight adjustments. And sight adjustments, I'm not a guru when it comes to understanding pass protection. Like I understand it to a bit, but I'm not like superior when it comes to knowledge with pass protection. Okay, football is there's a game within a game. That's why you have offensive line coach, defensive line coach, linebackers coach, secondary coach, defensive backs coach, wide receivers coach, right? You can't have one guy, just defensive coordinator, and he coaches every aspect of the game on the defense. It's just the game is too vast in the amount of knowledge you need to acquire to be effective in doing your job as one man for the entire defense. That's why you have all those coaches on the side. It's a game within a game. Offensive line coach. Pass protection is a whole nother world in itself, right? So, in essence, I'm just going to talk about, I think it's called jet protection, right? So, I want to show you that they don't have dual protection in the game. So, let's say, we declare this guy as the mic, and we always like slide to the will in jet protection. Not always, but maybe you can change it, right? So you go to like the first uncovered lineman, that would be him, and we have four offensive linemen, so we're gonna get a four-man slide to these four guys here, right? And that would leave you one-on-one with this guy, the tackle, right? So then your back may be in dual protection. So and I think that's why you see quarterbacks may point. You see how, some of them like point at one backer and then they point to another backer? That's probably for your back he's in a dual read. So you're reading 1 to 2 as the back, right? What that means is you're always doing inside out. So as the back, now okay, I got those two guys. At the snap of the ball, you look at one. If one comes, you block him, right? Immediately. If at the snap of the ball one doesn't come and he drops back or does whatever he does, but he's not rushing, then you get your eyes to number 2. And if he's coming, you block him. Now, if number 1 doesn't come and number 2 doesn't come, then you can go out into your route, right? The essence of pass protection is you want to have an answer for any potential rusher. Now, remember what I said? I said an answer, not a protector, right? Our answer for these four guys is our 4 offensive linemen here in a 4-man slide going this way. Our answer for this guy is the tackle, right? So our answer for number 1 coming is our back who's in a dual protection read. Now, what's your answer if number 1 and number 2 comes, right? Notice I didn't say pass protector. You don't need a pass protector to have an answer for every rusher. You don't. So if number one comes and the back has to pick him up, and number two comes, well, now this guy's free. We have no one to pick him up, right? Because these guys are on a four-man slide. Let's say, these guys are coming, so they got to pick him up, and in this world, we have this guy coming. So what is our answer for this guy? Well, one thing an offense may have, let's say we had this designed up. This guy's going up, and this guy's going like a deep comeback route. And let's say we had, this guy going on a post, and maybe this guy's going on like a, who knows, a deep out. Who knows? I'm just drawing something up. Maybe you'll have a sight adjustment involved in the play, right? That's another reason why pointing as the quarterback, it may be good for the wide receivers too, because they're looking into the ball and they'll see that. They'll see the quarterback point at one and point at two, which may let the inside receiver know, hey, number one and number two is a dual read for the back. If one and two comes, we have a sight adjustment built in the play, which may mean like, hey, I know I'm supposed to go up the seam, but if one and two come, I will automatically convert my route into a slant to replace the void left by these backers, right? And that's our answer for that second rusher. Our answer isn't a protector. Our answer is to get the ball out quick before he can reach the quarterback. Obviously, you won't be able to do that on a deep route, but you definitely you have a better answer on like something hitting the area that he's vacating. So like a quick little slant route. So by the time this guy gets about here, the ball's already out, right? On a slant. So that's one thing. Like, that's two things the game doesn't have. To me, I haven't seen it. Maybe someone can let me know. Like, I know you guys have seen like this mic icon, and you've seen like the C icon, right? And that's for the back to check release on that player. If that player comes, your back will block him. If he doesn't come, then your back will go out in the route that he has designed, right? But that's a single read. That's not a dual read. I want a dual read. I want it to where if he comes, okay, I'll pick him up. But then we have a two. Like if that guy comes, then he'll pick him up. So if one doesn't come, but two comes, he gets him. If one comes, he'll take him. If one and two comes, well, where's our, hots and sight adjustments, right? I want a sight adjustment built into the play. Where is that in the game? It's not in the game. It's just not in there. Sorry. Yes, it's not in the game, guys. No. What's your excuse for it not being in the game? How about that? Like, where's the accountability of these guys, right? You can't even talk to these guys. To me, I know that they're afraid of doing that because they know that their game is so garbage and so unrealistic, so nowhere close to where it should be when it comes to simulated real football, that they don't even want to be questioned, like live or nothing. And if they do have a session to where fans can ask them questions, please point me to it. I guarantee you I'd probably be kicked off or muted, or my mic muted if I were to, be able to ask them questions, because I would ask them these hard questions. I would be like, hey, how come sight adjustments isn't in your game? And sight adjustments has been in the game of football for probably 40 years. Why is it not in the game? Why is dual read, pass protection from the backs not in the game? Why are we not able to, select the different protections that we want for our offenses? Why is that not in the game? Why is the release? Why don't you have a diamond release for slants on cloud corners? Why is the release the same on every single slant route? Why can't we design our own routes? Why can't we design our own defenses? Why can't we design our own concepts? That way, if you guys have something wrong, maybe we can fix it. Why is that not in the game? Why is your game garbage? It's pretty much what I'm getting at, right? Like, what's your excuse? Because it's at a point now to where it's not like, why is it not in the game? It's just, what's your excuse for it not being in the game? Why is stuff, dude? Like I remember Madden had it to where you could select who you want to defend in man coverage. So you would be able to say, hey, I want this corner here, whichever name it is, I want him always on this guy. And I want this corner here always on this guy. Always, right? You would be able to select who you want to defend. Like, that used to be in the game. They took it out. Why? Like, I don't understand. Like, that's something you can do on the field in NFL. You think they're not capable of saying, hey, Darrell Revis or Sherman, I always want you guys to be on, Stephon Diggs. I know Revis isn't really playing anymore, but, you should get my drift, right? Well, like, why is that not in the game? So, let me go back here. Yeah, so here's this icon, the check release. So, they have him as a mic. So, we're not able to call what protection we really want, right? So let's just say obviously the five offensive linemen are going to be responsible for these five guys here in this play. And he's check releasing on this guy. If this guy comes, he'll pick him up. If he doesn't, then he'll come out into this route. Here's another thing I don't like about this game. If I have this guy on a design flat, like a little arrow route, a wheel route, why can't I also add to that route, turn it to the purple route? Because I want him to be involved in pass protection, in case we get a couple of like I'm worried about a select couple of defenders coming on the rush, and they may be unaccounted for, and I want an answer for those particular rushers. Why is it that you're forced, if you're going to have him in a check release, he's always going to go to the flat or whatever it is, or it has to be designed in the play. So, I'll just leave it at that, man, because, I could go on forever. And, I don't like to ramble and post videos of it, but, it's just my take on this game. This game sucks. But, we're trying to do the best we can with it because we're kind of stuck with it. It's a monopoly. There's nothing we can really do. And, here's the thing, too. It's like they exploit our love for the game. And that's why they get high sales. Like, the sales is doing fine. I'm pretty sure that they're still probably selling more than they ever have. And that gives the false inclination like that the game is actually good, when it's really not. Everyone knows that it's not. They just know that we buy it because, this is our only option. That's why monopolies are never good. It's never good to have only one burger place available for you to get a burger, because then they're able to not give adequate service for the food that they make. And, if you get tired of it, well, you have no outlet. Well, there's nowhere else to go get a burger. So, I'm forced to get a burger here if I want a burger. Like, but when Burger King, now a McDonald's moves across the street, well, now there's accountability, because if you continue to make terrible food, well, screw you. I'll go to the McDonald's. And that's what, NFL 2K was, So strategically, they go and get, a monopoly on the game. So now, hey, now we have no competition. We can throw this garbage out every year, and you guys are forced to give us $60 every year. So it is what it is.